In the 1920s, astronomer Edwin Hubble, using his new and extremely powerful telescope from the Mount Wilson Observatory in Los Angeles, made two revolutionary discoveries about our universe. First, Hubble observed that the Milky Way is not the only galaxy. He saw that the cloudy objects visible in the clear night sky were actually distant galaxies, and the Milky Way is just one among billions of such galaxies. Hubble's second discovery was that all these billions of galaxies are moving away from each other. This means our universe is expanding. The largest thing we know is getting larger and larger. Just a few years after Hubble's discovery, in 1927, a Belgian Catholic priest named Georges Lemaitre discovered that distant galaxies are moving away faster than the nearer ones. The mathematical derivation of this observation is now known as the Hubble-Lemaitre law. Based on this, Lemaitre did a reverse calculation and published an article in the December 1932 issue of Popular Science magazine. In this article, Lemaitre theorized that since the universe is constantly expanding, it must have been smaller in the past. And if we go far enough back in time, the universe must have been compressed into a single tiny point. That point exploded, and from there, space, time, and the universe began expanding. Lemaitre called this point the primeval atom in his article, The Hypothesis of the Primeval Atom, which later became famously known as the singularity and the Big Bang theory, respectively. According to the American Museum of Natural History, most astronomers accept the Big Bang as the origin of our universe. However, even today, scientists don't have an answer to why or how the Big Bang happened. Let's set that question aside for now and try to understand what happened after the Big Bang. For decades, scientists could only theorize about what happened immediately after the Big Bang. But in 1964, with the discovery of cosmic microwave background radiation, they started to get real answers. Through studies conducted by the European Space Agency's Planck mission and NASA's Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe, scientists examined this radiation, remnants of the early universe, and theorized that when the singularity exploded, it was at a temperature of 10 to the power 32 Kelvin, and protons, neutrons, and electrons began forming in space within a trillionth of a second. As space expanded, within the next 3 minutes, the temperature dropped from 10 to the power 32 to 10 to the power 9 Kelvin. Protons and neutrons began colliding to form deuterium, a stable isotope of hydrogen. A large portion of this deuterium combined to form helium gas. This process continued for around 380,000 years. After that, electrons started binding with nuclei to form neutral atoms. About 40 crore years after the Big Bang, a period referred to as the Dark Age of the universe, these gas elements combined to form fiery stars and galaxies. Eventually, these stars cooled down and began forming liquid and solid matter. If we briefly study the process that followed the Big Bang, we see a sequence. First came space, then air, atoms in space, then fire, fiery stars, and finally, as stars cooled, liquid and solid elements, matter like Earth. Here we can recall a verse from the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, spoken by Lord Sri Krishna around 5,000 years ago. Krishna lists the elements in the same sequence. Earth, Bhumi, and water, Apa, came from fire, Anala. Fire came from air, Vayu, and air came from space, Kam. Where did space come from? Lord Krishna answers this in the next line of the same verse. He says that all of this has come from him and is his separated material energy. Now let's return to the question we had set aside. If the Big Bang really happened, why and how did it happen? The Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 5, verses 22 to 40, provides detailed information about this. It explains that in the spiritual sky, Lord Sri Krishna expands into Mahavishnu to begin material creation. The first thing he creates is time. Over time, Mahavishnu exhales, and from every pore on his body, a universe is born. So the beginning of each universe, from a point or singularity, as modern science calls it, is not due to a random explosion, but rather from the exhalation of Mahavishnu. As these universes are born, the Lord's external energy, called Bahiranga Shakti, manifests the three modes: goodness, sattva, passion, rajas, and ignorance, tamas. From these three modes, space is created. With the manifestation of space, the universe begins to expand like a bubble. Then by the Lord's glance, air is produced from space, fire from air, liquid from fire, and solid matter from liquid. These five fundamental elements, space, air, fire, liquid, and solid matter, together form the non-living aspects of our universe. We've seen that the Srimad Bhagavatam not only aligns with modern scientific findings regarding the origin of the universe, but it also answers questions that modern scientists consider impossible to answer. In our next video, we'll explore how life began in the universe after its creation. Let us know in the comments which scientific topic you'd like us to cover next. Hare Krishna.